How does Parramatta's new light rail stack up against other transport options?
7.8k has come past us again.
In 1943, you could catch the tram from Parramatta Park to Duck River. As of this morning, it's back, so we headed down to check out the new kid on the block, taking in the approximate 10-kilometre trip from Westmead to Carlingford. The original tram was removed in the 1940s because it was deemed inflexible and slow compared to the car that could just run circles around. So 80 years on, we thought we should have a little speed test to see if much has changed. So we grabbed the Opal card and laced up the bad cats and headed down to Westmead. The Google algorithm predicted a pretty tight race, particularly when you selected a car and bus routes that mirror the light rail route, guesstimating that the predicted cycle time will be approximate to a hard outrun. In lane 1, we have the Urbis 100, dual electric. In lane 2, we've got this runner powered on Weet-Bix and Delusion. Lane 3, the 662 and the 550 bus. And lane 4, just driving.
And we're off. 10k of good times ahead.
A few moments later.
Oh shit, he's got a good top speed. 300 metres in, getting past. He's also got all the street lights synced.
I was second guessing my life choices as we pulled into Westmead Hospital Station. But then again, the car was stuck in traffic and I was still waiting on the bus. With 1.5 million instances of outpatient care a year, Westmead Hospital being connected to Parramatta via the light rail is just good city building. How quick as that? Light turned green and we're off again.
Just had to do a bit of cross country. Didn't recce that bit adequately. We're now coming up to Nungara Station. He's right on our tail.
This area has been earmarked by state government for redevelopment, bringing in a new university and over 2,000 new homes. 5 to 10% of it should be affordable. Subscribe for further updates. We continued this pattern for the first 5 stations, getting ahead, then being caught, and then catching up as he stopped to the next station. Passing me again at the Fennell Street stop, with the downhill, I was able to establish a proper lead. I factored in a light rail stop when we were working on the new Parramatta Stadium rebuild over a decade ago. So good to see it's here now, and people making their way to the game can utilise it. Hitting the edge of the CBD, the light rail was getting slowed up by the increased number of stations, while me, I was dodging drunk office workers in the last day of the year. It was all heating up coming to Parramatta Square, and I was glad to take the racing line straight through the fountain. Well-designed public space right next to our next stop, which is the connection to heavy rail and future metro stations. This will be the epicentre of public transport within Parramatta, and it's fantastic to see the light rail station here being so heavily used. And even better, the next section was downhill, and I could tell as it rounded the corner I'd put at least 700 metres on it. But then, disaster. Safety first, and the challenge dictates you follow the road rules. Oh, it gave me a chance to get my heart rate back under control anyway. Contrary to future comments, I only lost a minute here, but managed to get the heart rate down 40 bips.
That intersection was made to even things up. I lost 2 minutes at it, but I'm still a little bit ahead. I think I've got about 400, 500 metres on him. Haven't pushed too hard, because we know there's a big climb in the second half. It's going to be a good race, shaping to be a good race.
The bus has just left the exchange and it's getting close. I'm glad to finally get on the 5.7k designated cycle and path that was built as part of the light rail project. 23 minutes and 14 seconds in.
Victory!
Stephen Fleming and his sing-along gang take the win. At which point I'm just coming over the Parramatta River. 7 kilometres down, 31.1 minutes in.
Stop. Said I was 3 minutes ahead, but we're now on the north side of the river and the climb's about to start. You hear the twang of the lines, so it feels like the tram's stalking you. Western Sydney's a heat sink, so these areas with established trees make a huge difference in terms of the ground temperature. It's definitely allowing me to pick the pace up a little bit, which is magic.
The light rail build-out has included a tree planting program for Parramatta to try help with the heat sink and increase greenery generally. Lots of trees all around the place, over 5,000. You're looking at cypress planes, flowering gums. There's even a fried eggplant, which is about how I feel right now, because I know that light rail's on my back and about to pass me.
7.8k He's coming past us. There's only a couple of stops left. I gotta push it. Oh man, he's moving. He's moving. Done days. 2.2k to go. 7.72k in. He's caught me up again. We're going to exit the station before him.
He overtook me again shortly after, and coming into Yalamundi station I could see him but just couldn't quite catch him. I was broken as we pulled off and headed away, and you can see the heat map. My running goes from green to a much slower blue. Just when I thought I couldn't be any lower, there he appears, coming back at me just to rub it in my face. Coming in tired, broken and barely able to hold the camera steady, I was comforted in the knowledge that it's actually 10.89k, and for a square metre rate, we got a lot more for our 2.88 billion than I thought. I slide onto, swing my Opal card above, and take an easy and comfortable ride home. So obviously this wasn't really a fair comparison. It's a bit hard on the light rail, and we'll cover this off as we go through the results. All in, I was pretty happy with the run. It was a pretty hot day and got it done. 10.83 kilometres it was in the end in 46.1 second. That's a 4:15 kilometre. Now, I was giving myself a hard time for being slow at the end there. I'm actually 7th of all time on Strava for that last leg that goes from the river all the way through to the finish, which is pretty good. I'm very happy with the consistency. I'm all around 4 minutes low-ish. Even when the climb started, you can see here in the grey there where the climb really did kick in. Heart rate, you can see where I got stopped at the lights for that minute, and you can see there where I was really pushing at the end as well. So top of the podium was the car in 23 minutes 14. Second place taken by the bus at 37 minutes. And then at 42 flat, the light rail, and then taking the wooden spoon myself at 46 minutes. While at 23 minutes and change, the car was the fastest, it benefited hugely from this happening the Friday before Christmas, where everyone was at the beach and the roads were empty. And that's just not a reality for Parramatta as it goes forward. The city will grow, the streets will clog up, and the light rail will become the quicker option. At 37 minutes and 42 seconds, the surprise package of the day was the bus. While it lacks the capacity of the light rail, it's not fixed to structured tracks, and it doesn't cost $2.8 billion to build. At 42 minutes, the light rail was bang on time. And let me tell you, it is luxurious, roomy, and has air conditioning, which is absolutely golden. Where it lost out against the car and the bus, though, was at either end of the light rail system. Where it was faster was in the CBD, where there's a higher density of intersections and traffic. And that's the future of the suburbs along the rail line. They will become future employment and housing hubs. If you think you can beat my time, if you can do a 10.9k in under 42 minutes, you've got a good chance of beating the tram. I'd love to see it happen. Running channels, Sota, Stephen Chung, Coach Katie St. Lawrence, you got this.
The cars entered in this race prove that a car can do everything a horse can do, except eat sugar.